Hey man, it's your boy DAA man, Daalight TV, back at y'all with another one. And on this trip, we're gonna be getting into Yale University offering a course on Beyonce called Beyonce Makes History. Yeah, Yale University, home of about 9 secret societies, most notably the Skull and Bones for you Illuminati conspiracists out there. Of the 9 secret societies hosted at Yale, 4 of them are of the ancient 8 societies, which are not owned or incorporated by Yale or his alumni. But that's a whole nother spill. But I say that because I know that all the conspiracy theory people out there are going to say, oh, I'm not shocked or whatever. They're all in the Illuminati. That's why they're so successful and all this. And I told y'all I don't do rabbit holes or booty holes on this channel. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much stick to the facts. You know, usually I follow the money. But that's another spill too. The first thing I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to say is Matthew Knowles is a Freemason, he's in the Illuminati and all this other shit. But if you look up Matthew Knowles or any affiliation that he has, I guess a couple of philanthropy group, whatever it is he got going on, but most notably as far as fraternal orders, he's a mega sci-fi. You know what I'm saying? They were founded in Howard in like the early 1900s or some shit like that. Predominantly African American fraternity. 250,000 pledgers or whatever, or people who have pledged, you know what I'm saying, on mega sci-fi, according to their Wikipedia and all that. But now that we have that bullshit out the way, we could get into the real shit. We got an interview with Professor Daphne Brooks, who introduced and will be teaching the course at the start of the next semester. She sat down with ABC News and basically gave her reasoning for, why of all the people she felt like Beyonce deserves a course or whatever, or this acknowledgement. So I ain't gonna hold y'all much longer. It's your boy Daalight TV. Let's get it.
200 million records worldwide, recently finished the highest grossing tour by a Black female artist, and not only holds the record for the most Grammy Award wins, but just broke the record for the most nominations in history with 99. Of course, we are talking about the one and only Beyoncé, and now she's the subject of an upcoming class at Yale University next semester. Joining us now is Professor Daphne Brooks, who will be teaching the course Beyonce Makes History, Black Radical Tradition, Culture, Theory, and Politics Through Music. And Professor, thank you so much for joining us. Just want to start with the simple question, why Beyonce?
Why Beyonce? Thank you for having me. Great to be here. She is the most intellectually provocative and historically minded artist of her international caliber over the past decade, I would argue. And one can see that really through her recordings at the level of the experimental album form, beginning in 2013. The fact that she was engaging Black feminisms with actual...
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. Now, when it comes to Beyonce, I could give you, provocative, because baby girl gonna show that skin. But I don't, like, when I hear Beyonce, I don't think about intellectually provocative. Yeah, she might spark some debate or whatever and shit, but I'm here doing a video about them doing a course on her. But not no debate of a global resonance and shit. Like, the only thing global about her is her fan base, which she established through music. You get what I'm saying? But she not, she not like a political, figure or some shit you could say. She don't have that sway, not to me. She hadn't even done anything that was deemed socially conscious until she did the Lemonade album in 2016. But before that, when her career started in 1998 with Destiny Child up until she went solo in 2003, she was the, uh, bugaboo, build, my body so bootylicious. And, you know, um, even when she went solo, it wasn't that much different. You know what I mean? She was still pushing the message that was in those original records written by Candy Burris, who wrote No Scrub for TLC, which also like further perpetuated the whole women pursuing men for financial gain, prostitute shit. And the labels made it look so glamorous, the same way they made it like the gangster shit look glamorous for young boys, that you had girls and grown ass women making that shit life goals. And when you look around at what's going on socially, it kind of backfired. You understand what I'm saying? Historically minded, I guess if you call emulating the R&B diva that came before you, yeah, but I mean, what artist hasn't emulated their influences and shit like that? But do we necessarily say that everybody who samples or does their own rendition or whatever is historically minded? No, we don't. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. Moving the goalpost for Queen Bee, I guess. But let's get back into it.
Who think through and theorize Black feminisms. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie famously appears on the self-titled album, but you could also think about the ways in which Lemonade is engaging with the scholarship of African American studies, the visual art of Carrie Mae Weems, the filmmaking of Julie Dash. You could think about the ways in which Renaissance is such a robust meditation on radical LGBTQIA subcultures. You could think about the ways in which Cowboy Carter.
Alright, let me stop there. So I was giving her, the Lemonade thing, not because that's my opinion of it, but because that's what it was marketed as. Like, when you look it up. Now, the Beyonce album, when that shit came out, I was rocking with this chick, right? And she loved Beyonce. And we had some business going. I had to be around Shorty at least 4 or 5 times a week. So when we would ride out, we had an arrangement. We would play the music I like, going one way, or play the music that she liked coming back the other way. And she loved Beyonce and shit, like I said. So she playing this Beyonce album like non-stop. So much so, I start picking up or learning the lyrics on accident. Now, I say that to say, I remember how that album, like the vibe she would get in when she played it, and based on the lyrics, like that shit wasn't no super feminism album. The cover art had some pink in it, and she's a female, but I didn't look at it as female empowerment other than if you want to count what she was doing business wise, but on the scale of the effect on the everyday woman, or speaking for the everyday woman and shit, I ain't really see that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is, why do they always have to mesh the black and rainbow struggles and shit? Last time I checked, they had their own lobby in Washington. But if you ever seen footage from the outside of a Beyonce concert, then you know that the Rainbow Mafia be out there in full force, dressed like all of the Village people. That's probably where she got the Cowboy Carter idea from. But let's get back into this though, man.
Subcultures. You could think about the ways in which Cowboy Carter is a meditation on the lingering dimensions of Jim Crow in the recording industry and beyond. In a way, Beyonce's music is a form of scholarship, and it also invites us to engage the wider scholarship about a whole range of issues that constitute the story of America.
This class is meant to use her.
Okay. Cowboy Carter, Jim Crow. Like, okay, look, everybody knows, the oppression that black musicians faced in the music business and how, we contributed so much and never really got our just due. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who really followed or is like a student of music, we all know that the Carter family, the country group, Mother Mabel, got her juice or her sauce or whatever from Leslie Riddle. You had dudes like Lil Harold Armstrong, Charlie Pride, like even Ray Charles was in the mix, you know what I mean, with all that. So yeah, we get that, you know what I'm saying? But she not like, she not the first one or whatever and shit. And I don't think that shit was that socially conscious. And then on top of that, it wasn't even critically acclaimed. Like, it wasn't even well received. People clowned her for that album. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of a reach. Trying to do some fake Dolly Parton shit. But let's keep going, dog.
This class is meant to use her music and performances to learn more about the thoughts of Black intellectuals like activists Frederick Douglass and Toni Morrison. What are some ways in which her work connects with those revered figures?
Yeah, thanks so much for that question. I think if you look at something like Lemonade, it really sits firmly in the midst of so many important debates and explorations in African American studies and American studies and scholarship in American history about what's often referred to as the afterlives of slavery. The ways in which, as Toni Morrison has suggested, as the scholar Saidiya Hartman has suggested, that we are slavery's future, right? We constitute the makings of all that have come before us in American history. And so I've often taught Lemonade alongside Toni Morrison's masterpiece, Beloved, in order to think about the ways that Lemonade itself is trying to think about the traumas of the long arm of slavery as it manifests itself in everyday African American life.
And how much interest has this class generated on the campus at Yale?
I would say a tsunami of excitement for the class. And that was true when I taught Black women in popular music culture, a survey of 100 years of African American women's genius and breakthroughs in popular music culture. And Beyoncé was one of the central forces in that class. There was a lot of excitement then, and even more so now.
Professor Daphne Brooks, we thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, man, there you have it. I was going to stop it one more time or whatever and weigh in when they were talking about comparing the Lemonade album to the works of Frederick Douglass and Toni Morrison, who are historical figures. Like, y'all do your homework on them or whatever, and y'all kind of see why I feel like it's like preposterous. You understand what I'm saying? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Lemonade about her dealing with Jay-Z cheating on her and whatnot? So are we blaming the infidelity in her marriage on slavery? I'm dead. If that's what we doing, bro, I'm dead. Like, for real, for real. So, before slavery, no man of color has ever stepped out on his wife or old lady. You know what I mean? Like, that shit it sounds stupid, like, when you say it. You get what I'm saying? Like, so much for historically minded. But while we're on the subject of Jay-Z, I mean, if anybody is, how could I say, if someone is intellectually provocative or is the product of slavery, right? Wouldn't it be a dude raised in the projects in Brooklyn, absent father, addicted to heroin, mother falls victim to the same crack epidemic that made him financially successful enough to start his own record company, been putting out music or whatever since 1986, and definitely has dropped some of the most provocative or thought-provoking records on that time, even from the first album, A Reasonable Doubt. You get what I'm saying? Shit, like, started in 2003, Sean Carter Foundation or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Even giving out scholarships longer than Beyonce's had a independent, or not independent, solo career. You get what I'm saying? Started Team Rock or whatever for, you know, like helping people with legal assistance that can't afford it. You know what I mean? He leveraged the playing field in like many different fields of business, including sports management and all this shit. What else? I mean, bro, involved in prison reform. You know, I mean, he borderline got Meek Mill home. You understand? So then, you know, again, like, even if you want to talk about a album that was super socially conscious, I mean, the Magna Carta, that 444 shit, like, you know what I mean? It was really like, you had people, forget the media and just Billboard writing about it, but you had people, you know, really giving testimony how it changed the way they think. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, bro, and he ain't have no help, you know what I mean, writing his catalog, you know what I mean, that has all this influence. Shit, he barely used the pen and the paper. You know? So if anybody, you know what I mean, is like deserving of a course study, you know what I mean, on that scale, I think it's Jay-Z, homie. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to keep it in the Carter family. But I don't know, bro. I just know this. 4-year education at Yale is about 340 grand, right? If I sent my trust fund baby to Yale and spent a Rolls Royce Cullinan worth of money on their education, and they come back and tell me that one of the courses they chose to take was on Beyonce, I'm probably gonna beat that ass. Like, I ain't gonna hold it. But hey, at least we know what college Blue Ivy probably gonna go to. And to think, they colors is blue too. But hey, man, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you know whenever I'm dropping some new content. And as always, stay dangerous so you can be safe. It's your boy Daalight, Daalight TV. I'm out.